watching Rock Titan TV, featuring John Bush from Armored Saint.
So we all were childhood chums. We knew each other from, like 3rd, 4th grade.
You guys go that far
We
back?
go that far back, bro.
Wow.
We knew each other since we were like 8 years old.
Oh my God.
Obviously Gonzo and Phil have known each other since birth because they're brothers.
Right.
But,
right.
yeah, I'm 54. I'll be 55 next month. So
Really, man?
Yeah. So
Are you a vegan?
No, I'm not.
Man,
no.
you guys out there in California, you're all so well maintained.
Well, I lost my hair.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
But, we try to eat fairly well and exercise regularly, and no, it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so we've known each other, hypothetically, since, about 47 years. 46 years.
So they're not just your bandmates. They are your brothers, man.
Hermanos, yeah.
God.
It's amazing, and we probably get along better now than we ever did.
Like, can you even remember life without them?
Well, I do, because, I left the band, and I was in Anthrax for, almost 13 years.
Well, sure, yeah. But, just in the course of your life as a whole, because you go so far back.
Yeah, there was never a time when we, never communicated. But, it got a little distant at times. Right. Me and Joey probably remained pretty close because we were always just good friends, but beyond the band. But, it's... we have a pretty mature relationship at this point, which, I'm not trying to... I'm actually serious, but,
right.
We've been through so much together that, we're all pretty humble. And, we're just always happy that whatever we can do is great.
Well, I know I speak for everyone at Sellersville Theater, where everyone is exceedingly glad that you guys are still together.
We are too. I think we make some really cool, sophisticated hard rock heavy metal that's heartfelt, and, when you watch Armored Saint, you never know what you're going to get, but you're always going to get something very genuine.
Well, you gave it away, man, because I don't know if everyone watching right now actually knew who it was I was talking to.
Oh. Well, I'm John Bush from Armored Saint.
Yeah, everybody, in case you didn't know, you are watching Rock Titan Music Television.
Some people might have thought it was Bruce Willis. If we were in Tokyo, they'd probably say, that's Bruce Willis.
That's funny. I could see how someone would think that, honestly.
In Japan, they say that sometimes.
That's wild. That's wild. So, everybody, I'm Scotty J, and as John just introduced himself, we got John Bush here from Armored Saint on the Symbol of Salvation tour.
Symbol of Salvation tour. We're doing a record in its entirety. We've never done anything like that, so it's we're still ironing out some of the bugs. We had a few bugs last time in Poughkeepsie, but the show was great, and the crowd was awesome, and we're just trying to figure things out. But we're playing some songs that we've never played and hardly have ever played, and obviously Rain of Fire, Last Train Home, we played those songs a million times, but Hanging Judge, Truth Always Hurts, these are all very, very fresh for us. So it's real
Tribal
fun.
Dance?
Tribal Dance we played a lot of times.
Yeah.
But, Another Day, Half Tron Bridge, Burning Question. These are songs that we just, they're virgins, for the most part. Some of them we played maybe once, twice, 3 times, but, I don't think we ever played Burning Question in the history of the band until last night. Yeah, so it's cool.
That's wild.
And it was pretty good.
Now, how long have you been thinking about doing, an album in its entirety like this? And and it makes sense that it would be simple. I actually listened to it my whole car ride up, just to get it burned in my brain. But how long have you been thinking about doing something like that?
Well, truly, the whole premise behind this is that we're really trying to bridge When Hands Down to a new record.
Right on.
And Armored Saint doesn't really work quickly.
I know.
And we probably should, because we're getting older, and time is slightly of the essence. But
you're still young, man.
Thanks. But we wanted to put something out. We did do a live record, and that came out in beginning of 2017, Carpe Noctem.
Right.
But we wanted to do something. The one thing that we've never really done in our history is done a live DVD, a cool live footage, professionally done DVD. So we said, we kept trying to do that, and then to give it something kind of a twist or something unique, then we said, why don't we do an album in its entirety?
Very cool.
So that's what we're doing these 2 weeks here on the East Coast, Midwest. We're doing some dates on the West Coast as well, a little later in August, but we're gonna film this show. We filmed Poughkeepsie. We're gonna film New York.
Oh, we are filming here tonight.
We're filming tonight.
Very
and,
cool.
We're gonna film LA, and we're gonna put a live DVD that's gonna be not just a bootleg of some dude with a camera in the crowd,
Right.
like a real one. So
Right.
so to do that, we thought, well, why don't we do an album in entirety? And so we figured, Symbol just seems like kind of the middle of our career, and kind of
album.
The fourth album, real important record, a lot of emotion behind it, and
I'm glad you touched on that because I was curious how you felt and if any kind of feelings got revived with the passing of Dave Pritchard, because obviously that all coincided when Symbols came out. So how have you been feeling throughout this tour? Has it stirred any of that emotion? Did it take you kind of back to that time?
I always feel like Dave's with us.
Yeah.
I'm not the most, I'm certainly not an organized religion guy at all.
Right.
But I feel like
But
I'm
there's
a
spirituality.
fairly spiritual
Yeah.
person. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, sure.
I give to charities, whatever.
Very cool.
But, I just think that Dave is kind of always there.
Nice.
And he's always kind of in our presence. He's always
Very
just
cool.
kind of hovering around somewhere, somehow, some way. So, I feel that way about him, and so we just know that that somehow, some way he's there, and
He'd
his
be okay
music's-
with how Sandoval kind of took things over there? You think he'd be all right with all that?
with Phil taking over. Well, the thing with Armored Saint is the cool story behind Armored Saint. Truthfully, is Phil and Jeff came into Armored Saint at the same time,
Right.
and they both played with Dave at different times.
Okay.
Okay, so when Dave passed away, we was really kind of left with just Joey, myself, and Gonzo for the most part.
Right,
That
right.
was really kind of. There was a guy who played with us for a small period of time. His name was Alan Barlam. He used to play in the band Hellion back in the day.
Oh, yeah,
And he
man.
was
Yeah,
he was in the very latter stages of Armored Saint before we broke up, or before. I'm sorry, Dave passed, and it just I just think the bottom dropped when Dave died. So
Right.
we were we kind of, for lack of a better word, we were just kind of no band at that point.
But that's right when this album came out.
But we had all the songs.
Right,
So we
right.
said, well, we got to put these songs out.
Right.
We put all this time and energy and effort, and Dave wrote a lot of those songs.
Okay.
So we said, we have to do this because, we'd be just sweeping it under the rug, and it would be a waste.
Right.
So I think once we had a couple powwows, we realized that we've always been a family. And so if we're going to carry on, we got to do it as a family. And I always loved Jeff. I always thought Jeff was an important part of Armored Saint. He was there during a lot of the writing of Simple Salvation.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Phil was somebody from the beginning of the band, Gonzo's brother. Gonzo always wanted Phil back, and Phil took care of a lot of personal issues, and he was ready to come. So we said, let's bring back those two guys. And it was cool because they both played with Dave at different times.
Right.
But then they both came back, and they bonded greatly. As a matter of fact, they've always been roommates since then.
That's
And
wild.
they're good friends.
That's
and
wild.
And that's how we continued on. So
Very cool.
I did leave to go join Anthrax after that, but
Yeah,
when
but
we
yeah,
rejoined. But
yeah.
the cool thing is what I always say about Armored Saint, and I mean this sincerely, is that it's the same guys.
Right.
It's the same 5 guys, and if Dave was here, it'd be the same 6 guys.
That's
Because
awesome.
Dave we'd be 3 guitarists.
That
So
would
I
be
think
sick.
Dave would always be giving us an endorsement. I
Very
think he's
cool.
always there, kind of watching us,
Very cool.
probably busting our balls. Certainly, probably telling the guitar players, "You're not playing that right," But his spirit is with us.
Now,
And
how
he'll
would
be
he-
there tonight.
Now, how would he have enjoyed South America? How was South America? That was your first time there, wasn't it?
It was Armored Saint's first time there, for sure. Yes, it was cool. Some of the best fans in the world. They really are.
Yeah.
They love soccer chants during the gig. They're very passionate people. Chile, Argentina, Brazil, Peru. Doesn't matter what it is. Food, soccer, sex. They're just passionate. They love everything.
Right
so
on,
you
man.
get caught up in that. So yeah, he would have loved it.
Now, why did it take Armored Saint so long to get to South America?
Well, there's a lot.
How
of
is this
pla-
possible?
There's a lot of places that we still have yet to play, and
Yeah.
we're still trying to play.
What's on the bucket list?
Well, Argentina, South America certainly was.
Okay.
For sure.
All right.
Italy. We've done it once, but we're going to play Milan in November.
Nice.
Well, we played Japan a couple years ago at the Loud Park Festival, and that was really cool.
Nice.
So that was a long time coming too. Took
Right
about
on.
33 years. So I always tell people again, we were disbanded for about 12 years.
Right, right.
So we're still trying to make up for some lost time, but
Hey, man, you guys are still alive and kicking,
we are.
creating great music.
We are.
Now, I gotta ask you something, because this has got to be somewhat personal, too. Slayer. They're riding off into the sunset, man, and you came up with all those guys, Slayer, Anthrax, Metallica,
Sure.
and Megadeth, all those guys,
Yeah.
like right in that era.
Early
You
80s.
you made that up. You made that era what it was. What do you think about Slayer saying bye-bye? Could you
Well-
imagine? Could you put yourself in Carrie or Tom's shoes?
Well, there must be a reason.
Yeah.
There must be a reason they're done. I think it's. I don't know. I don't know any details.
No,
at
sure,
all.
sure.
So I have no idea.
But I mean, could you
Um,
imagine right now saying, "No, you know what? I'm done."
I think that, believe me, I think it's actually a cool thing when bands go out on a high note.
Okay.
I'd rather
Yeah.
see that than bands trudge on and lose
Right
it.
on, right
There's
on.
plenty of those bands. I won't mention names. There's plenty of bands that they should have called it quits like
Yeah.
20 years ago.
All right.
That are still going.
Right.
So you want to go on a high note. So I respect that.
All right. No, that's very cool. That's very cool. Now, obviously, everyone knows of your time with Anthrax. Do you still stay in touch with any of those guys?
Well, I guess Frank Bello was saying maybe get together tomorrow in New York or
No
the next
kidding.
day for dinner. We'll see if that happens schedule-wise.
You
I
think
do
you might
see
ever tour with
Scott.
them? You think Armored Saint and Anthrax might ever go out on tour together?
I think the time is right for maybe that to happen.
Yeah.
It would be a cool
It's been a
tour.
while.
It would be great for Armored Saint because
Yeah.
Anthrax is a much bigger band, so it would be great for Armored Saint. I'd embrace it.
Then maybe you could actually, do some songs, that they haven't done in a while.
Who
or
knows?
years,
I don't know if Joey Belladonna, if that was something that would, make him uncomfortable, and I certainly would never want to
Sure,
do
no.
that. So,
but I mean, it could be cool.
but,
And
you
you
know-
guys have all been in the game long enough,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like, come
We're all
on.
veterans.
Right.
But, there's a lot of one under the bridge now, so, yeah, I see Scott, because Scott lives in L.A., so me and Scott run into each other a lot.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, new material. I know this is the big thing. Now, I've heard rumors that you guys have been writing that as soon as this North American part of the tour is done, you guys are going to be putting some new stuff out.
Well,
Is
we're not
this-
going to put it out. We're going to hopefully go. We've been writing, and we got to write some more songs because we've only written like maybe a half dozen. But you need at least a good 9, 10, 12, for a record. But yeah, I think what we've written already sounds killer. I mean, When Hands Down set the tone for a really cool follow-up. So the only thing is, it set the bar really high.
You got some nice reception from that.
It was a great record. I
Yeah.
think it was one of our best, where we got a lot of critical acclaim. I think we set the bar really high, and we got to step up and try to surpass that. And that's not gonna be an easy chore to do. But
Yeah.
but we're ready, and I think we'll write some killer music.
Yeah. very
So
cool.
realistically, probably sometime later next year,
Yeah.
if we're realistic. If we create a little urgency, which we probably should do.
All right, and that would be cool because, then when you get that new material out there, of course you need to tour with that, and then maybe you get involved with, some of these guys that you came up through the ranks with. It's so wild because, of course you're on Metal Blade Records.
That's right.
And just this past year, Brian came out with his book, For the Sake of Heaviness.
Right, and I'm doing an audio version of his book where I'm doing some of those interviews in his book.
Okay, because I was going to say, you're such a significant part of that history, and it was so cool going up to New York and seeing him do his book signing up there, and, just speaking with him, via Skype, kind of talking about the history of everything, and I don't know if everybody knows, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but the fact that you almost sang with Metallica, I mean, that's like so surreal, and that Brian had such an integral part of those guys actually getting together, and coming up, and, I mean...
Well, Brian he's got an integral part of heavy metal in general.
And I know you guys are one of his favorite bands, personally.
He's, I always say there'd be no Saint without Metal Blade, really.
Yeah,
So
that's
Brian's
wild.
awesome. We owe an enormous amount of gratitude to him through the years, and he's a great guy, and I mean, Metal Blade's always been there for us. They've been there for us when we weren't even on Metal Blade.
Yeah.
And we love Brian, and, we're honored to be part of the Metal Blade roster, and he's just he's entrenched, and he's just such a part of heavy metal history. And a lot of people owe a lot to Brian.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah, no, right on. That's very cool. Well, John, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. Everybody, again, I'm Scotty J, Rock Titan TV, here with John Bush, Armored Saint.
Yeah!
Yes, sir. We're out.